So looking at the duration of all the iPhones that have ever came out, we can kind of see that there's somewhat of like a trend of every single iPhone that's came out and these software versions that these devices ended up getting. Now, I love my particular phones. I love all the iPhones that ever came out, but I will tell you there are definitely some reasons why certain iPhones may not end up getting the next version of software. Now, personally for me, I love the iPhone XR, XS, and XS Max, but those are basically the oldest supported iPhones right now on iOS 17. There's always a likelihood that the oldest supported iPhones may not end up getting the next version of software. So I'm just going to level some, expectations right now. And if you're in the market and you were wondering if your particular iPhone is going to be supported, I have some reasons why these iPhones may end up not being the supported iPhones on iOS 18 and why the iPhone XR and XS Max may actually end up being the only iPhones being removed from iOS 18. Now, first of all, I think the bodies of these things still hold up very well, and I've always been saying for so many years now that if you're going to go and buy an iPhone, I think the iPhone XR was easily one of the best iPhones Apple's ever made. I wasn't that big of a fan when it first came out, but I slowly became a fan of it, and I still think it's a very good device for the most part. The only problem that I have with this particular device right now is its IPS panel, same thing with the iPhone 11, but I really have a hard time understanding and seeing if Apple would go ahead and basically remove both the iPhone XR and iPhone 11, aka the 2018 and 2019 phones. And I genuinely don't think Apple's going to do something like that. I think that would be a very detrimental thing for them to do. That's why I genuinely think there may be one group of iPhones Apple will end up removing, and that is basically going to be the iPhones of 2018. So these ones are the lowest supported iPhones. They, did get a decent version of iOS 17, but like I mentioned before, it was already kind of a limited version of iOS, and that was kind of what was going on with that particular device even at that moment, was that it was already. So with this software version like iOS 18, a lot of people and a lot of leakers are saying that this is probably going to be a massive update and a massive change basically from the previous version of software. So that if that actually ends up being the case, that is probably going to automatically make some older versions of devices and older softwares probably, a little bit more, they're going to require more resources basically to run that particular device and run that software. So that's why I think older devices like a device on, iOS 17 right now might be okay. But if you're wanting that next generation of software, well, then you're probably going to have some sort of a next generation device, which is kind of a sad thing to kind of keep in mind. But that's probably what's going to end up happening with this particular device, is that you're probably going to have to go through and basically buy something like the next generation of device for the most part in order to actually be able to get that next version of software. So I kind of don't think that iOS 18, it may not be supported on the iPhone XR, XS, and XS Max. I guess we're going to have to wait and see what happens, but those are kind of my thoughts. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.